You said you shook your head. That was a chaotic go live.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, former colleagues here present, directors. Before we get started, you're all welcome to Access Bank PLC. This is the grounds here. But I'll be sharing with you the hygiene factors here. First and foremost, you are your own personal chief security officer.
For now, we have to rely on the program.
Make sure you guard your phones, your handbags, your laptops, car keys, and anything of that sort. But since it's an opportunity for also, as we go through this sober moment, you can also network. Look at the person next to you, to your right and to your left, spending 15 seconds. It's for you to have a good idea what the person looks like, and you can account for the person when the person is alone. Just do that. To the left, 15 seconds, and to the right. While doing that, give the person a hug and a handshake. Having said this, since I've gotten you to share a little bit of laughter, our conveniences are outside, directly to my right. Okay, so if you get confused, I don't know whether it's my right to you or my left to you, but to my right hand side, as you go out, the state-of-the-art conveniences are there. We have them.
Sorry, I'm
females and, of course, for the males, so do not get confused. We also have a health factor in events anything goes wrong. We have a resident in-house doctor and nurses on the second floor, and we have 2 ambulances on the standby if you need anything. And on me, I carry a lot of paracetamol. So if you just see me anywhere, if you have a slight headache, call on me, or you go outside to any of our health factors who are there. But most importantly, which it will not happen, if there's any mishap, which cannot happen here, we don't need to run. We have 4 emergency exits, 1 to each side of where you're sitting, and 2 directly behind you. You'll be able to come out to the car park, and of course, staffs will be there and glad to be able to take you out. Since we're all here, I also know the fact that all of us have one thing or the other to do with the bank, and of course, we've either gone through it or we're here, and that's it. So probably I'll leave the microphone and hand it over to the MC to take us to the next level. But please note, while you're here, you are totally safe. We have all types and types of security and safety officers around. To Access Bank.
Thank you, Chuksma. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a very good evening to you. This evening, we are gathered to honor Dr. Herbert Onyewumbu Wigwe, CFR. And there's no better way to start this evening than to observe a moment's silence in his honor. So I'm going to humbly ask that we rise to our feet and observe a moment of silence as we remember and honor a great man, Dr. Herbert Onyewumbu Wigwe, CFR, born the 15th of August, 1966, gone to be with the Lord the 9th of February, 2024.
The wide camera, that one will be moving between both of us.
And may his soul continue to rest in the bosom. You may have your seat. We're going to start this event with prayer, and it gives me great honor to welcome a member of the Access Nation family, Michael Wenegieme, the head French Business Desk, Commercial Banking Division, to lead us in opening prayer. Can we welcome Michael with a warm round of applause, please?
Thank you very much. Welcome everyone and good evening. I would like us to say our opening prayer, and as we do this, please, I would like us to stand. In Jesus' name we pray. Everlasting Father, King of glory, as we begin to send Herbert, begin the process to send Herbert to rest and his family, we ask you that you take total control of everything, all the activities beginning from today until the very last day. King of glory, even as we are here today, we pray that the departure of Herbert or his death would bring more unity and greater unity to every one of us across all the verticals, sister companies, corporates, even our customers. Everlasting Father, King of glory, today as we come, as we are here not for the best of activities, but yes, we give you thanks because you said in your word that in all situations we should thank you, and all that you have planned for us is for good, and we believe this, and in this we shall push, in this we shall have faith, in this your word we shall continue to dwell in it, because keeping his vision is one that we aim for. And to do this, only you, everlasting Father, King of glory, will help us. Together in our various ways, if we come together, we are sure that greater heights it is for Access Bank and all the other corporates that are with us. The corporation would grow higher and further. We shall be known even more. Our extensive network shall grow. King of glory, we commit every activity unto you. We commit the security plans. We commit everything that needs to be under your care. Today again, as a team, as a family, we come together to celebrate Herbert, Doreen, and Chizzy. That even at their death, Father, they are a strong part of us. We commit Igboje at this time. We commit the leadership. We commit Herbert's family. We ask you that you will be with them now more than ever. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Michael. Brothers and sisters, family members, in this arena as citizens of Access Nation, we have our leadership. I want to thank the leadership from across board for coming. But today's event is really for employees by employees. And so we have employees, staff members, directors, executives of Access Holdings, the Access Bank Group, Access Bank PLC, and all its several subsidiaries, both in Africa and beyond. We have Access Pension Funds Administrator Limited, Hydrogen Payment Services Company Limited, Oxygen X Project, and Access Insurance Brokers, all represented here this evening to honor the life of a man who has touched everyone in this room directly, Dr. Herbert Wigwe. Without further ado, I'm going to call on someone who will do an opening remark and to really just reiterate the fact that today is really an employee event. And so even though our leadership are here, we might not task them to do much at this event. Employees are really the ones taking ownership of this evening and will drive the proceedings today. And so our opening remark will be by Abisola Oyelowo, who's our Senior HR Business Partner, IT and Digital for the banking group. And as well, she's a project lead for culture and employee engagement for Access Nation. And we're honoring and celebrating Herbert. And even though the grief is really heavy, Herbert has really deposited in all of us individually. And we want to, use today to make a promise that we'll continue to further that legacy and celebrate that life. So if we're going to put our hands together and applaud, let's do it with some hope and some enthusiasm this afternoon. All right, Abisola Oyelowo, can we also welcome her with a round of applause as she welcomes you?
Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, friends, and families of Access Nation, tonight we gather under this canopy of stars to pay homage to a titan amongst us, a visionary whose daring and fearless spirit has shaped the very fabric of our institution and touched countless lives across continents. As we stand on the precipice of this memorial event, we are reminded of the great impact of one man's dedication, boundless passion, and relentless pursuit of excellence. Herbert Wigwe, a name that echoes with reverence and admiration throughout our halls, has left a lasting mark on the landscape of banking and beyond. His legacy, a series of memories woven with threads of innovation, compassion, and optimism, serves as a vehicle of boundless inspiration to us all. Tonight, as we reflect on the life and legacy of Herbert, we are reminded not only of his remarkable achievements, but also of the essence of the man behind the title. Herbert, the man who exemplified integrity, humility, and generosity in every facet of his being. The man whose infectious enthusiasm and unwavering belief in the potential of others fueled our collective journey towards greatness. From the halls of Access Bank to the boardrooms of global institutions, Herbert's vision transcended boundaries and ignited a flame of hope and possibility in the hearts of all who crossed his path. As we gather to honor his memory, let us not mourn the loss of a leader, but celebrate the life of a visionary whose life will continue to inspire Access warriors for generations to come. Herbert may no longer walk amongst us, but his spirit lives on in the hearts and minds of all who had the honor of knowing him, let alone spend time with him. Tonight, as we doff our hats in salute to a life well lived, let us also raise our voices in gratitude for the profound impact he has had on our lives, our families, and indeed, the world around us. Furthermore, I urge us all to take a moment and embrace the power of introspection and vulnerability. In the face of loss, it is natural to feel a range of emotions, from sadness and grief to uncertainty and fear. However, it is in these moments of vulnerability that we often find our greatest strength. Let us therefore not be afraid to lean on one another for support, to share our thoughts and feelings openly, and to offer a listening ear to those in need. For tonight and in the days ahead, we will need the strength of the collective, the comfort of shared experiences, and the reassurance that we are not alone in our grief. Let us come together as a community, bound by our love and admiration for Herbert, and find solace in the knowledge that we are stronger together than we could ever be apart. I welcome you all once again to this evening's event. It is my hope and prayer that at the end of the processions, we all find some closure and our spirits are renewed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Abisola Oyelowo. And in the spirit of renewing our spirit, we have the Access Choir ready to take us in a rendition of our opening hymn. And we're going to invite you to join us. Our program has hopefully been shared with you, and you can see the agenda on the program. But we'd like to invite you to join us. And if you want to stand, it's okay, as we sing Blessed Assurance and How Great Thou Art. Let's give another round of applause to the Access Choir. I'm sure that you know that the Access Choir is one other legacy of Herbert, who's really passionate about choral music, and for Access Nation, about giving staff members with diverse skills and gifts and talents a platform to self-actualize and express that. And about 90%, if not 100% of that Access Choir are members of the Access Nation family, and I think we need to celebrate that one more time. Our hearts might be heavy, but our souls sing, "How great thou art." For you, Lord, are our blessed assurance that in death and in life, we're not alone. So one more time, good evening to you and welcome to this evening of songs, hymns, tributes, and testimonials as we wrap our hands around each other and comfort one another and honor the legacy of a great man, a fearless warrior who lived his life pouring out into Access Nation, into Nigeria, into Africa, and beyond. And now we're going to have a citation for Herbert read out. Because he was a man of many parts and a really large figure, we thought only one person would not be sufficient to read out Herbert's citation. So we have a team who will read out his citation, and that team will be led by Sheung Onoshoga, who's the Managing Director, Access Bank, Namibia. Can we welcome Sheung, who will come with his team of about 4, I believe, yes, to read out Herbert's citation. Can we welcome them another time?
Good evening, all. We're here to read a citation. Herbert, oh Herbert. The Access Bank family is gathered today physically and in 4 continents, unified in the solemn gratitude and remembrance of the remarkable life of Herbert Wigwe, our bold, fearless leader, the Marcus Aurelius of the modern Rome, the gladiator himself, the optimum prime of the transformer, grand commander of the Access SEALs, our leader, Jakaban Yaki, Ashiwaju of Access Bank, Odogu Akatakaka of Access Bank. We're not here to mourn a life not lived or a potential not realized. Herbert lived. Herbert lived well and left plenty of evidence of enduring legacy. Herbert's impact extends far beyond the realms of the Nigerian banking industry. He impacted lives in his community, country, African continent, and indeed the world through transformative initiatives championed by boundless energy and unmatched passion. His leadership attributes and the numerous examples of which he led will continue to serve as a guiding light for us, pursuing us to pursue excellence and strive for positive change in our personal and professional endeavors. But it is impossible to honor Herbert, our leader, without first honoring Herbert, the man. The man who loved his family and always put his family first. Yet, his dedication to children didn't end on his own. If you remember, every time we were with Herbert, he mentioned, we have to take care of everyone. And then he says, we are 107,000 people. We usually wonder, who were the rest? It was because Herbert had included our dependents as part of his family. He also understood the value of people, all people, and forged relationships in every sector and every strata of the society as part of his quest to nurture and raise an army of committed citizens who will empower African economy. It is this spirit that Herbert comfortably stay with people, all walks of life, and every level of organization. Herbert nurtured dreams and encouraged millions across the continent to visualize their roles in empowering empowered Africa. Yes, that's Herbert, the man, the legend, our leader. But words that I've spoken is yet to describe who truly Herbert is.
Herbert, the leader. Herbert, the corporate giant, was simply an extension of the man. From the day Access Bank was recapitalized, he had one goal: to beat the competition and to put a Nigerian-owned African brand on the map of relevant global financial institutions. This determination earned Access Bank the reputation of daring to do the impossible. This, coupled with campaigns such as Access United, differentiated the organization while also uniting Access warriors. Together, under his fearless leadership, the organization thrived while pushing boundaries to be a world-class financial service provider and meeting its challenges head-on. In 2011, the bank had to take a strategic decision, and without a doubt, in Herbert's mind, at least not visible to us, the challenge was met, consolidating the organization's position through sheer effort and grit. The rest is history. Herbert raised more than champions. He raised a family of Access warriors and created a culture of inclusivity. Indeed, staff often spend more time together than we did with our families. The fact was never lost on Herbert. He once gave a speech on building the sustainable institution that would secure the lives of over 5,000 people. Many were confused because at the time there were only about 1,000 staff. Then it came to realization that the dependence of all staff of the institution was included in this number. A simple sentence showed a level of care and investment in people that went beyond those in the room and extended to our families. Yes, that's Herbert, the compassionate leader. And Herbert the ambitious. Herbert was always rising the bar and seemed to share a new dream at every meeting. These words were like lyrics. And we all came to realize and know better that this was quite often. From 1 million accounts to 10 million accounts to 35 million accounts and 100 million accounts, it never stopped. There was always room for expansion, and a space was created for everyone to thrive, whether or not they sought it. Access warriors were required to dream big by a man who always led from the front, testing the boundaries first, then inviting us to follow. In 2022, Access consolidated its position as the largest bank in Nigeria. No one could have predicted this 20 years ago when the bank was ranked at 85. The harvest didn't wait for a generation, and again in 2022, Herbert floated another dream to conquer Africa and the world. With the twinkle of an eye, Herbert's big ambitious smile, the organization grew, consolidating African Access Corporation, expanding to more African countries, taking on every market it operated in, and the vision to be the world's most respected African bank. In fulfillment of that goal, through Herbert's vision, Access warriors now identify as Africans, not Nigerians, and we're proud of the leadership position of the bank in the sector and the continent.
Herbert, the global banker. Today, Access Bank is successfully operating in 14 African countries, including the highly regulated South African market, the only Nigerian bank with that distinction. The bank also has strong presence in the UK, France, and Hong Kong, where it represents the only African country with a full license to operate. The bank's Hong Kong entry was a decade-long endeavor, so it is befitting that this milestone was achieved in Herbert's lifetime. Access Bank also boasts of representative offices in Lebanon, China, India, and Dubai. During the seemingly impossible has become an access tradition that Herbert took great pleasure in. When BlackRock acquired Global Infrastructure Partners' portfolio for over $3 billion, Herbert came to many minds as Access warriors laughed that it was a quintessential Herbert move, and that would have warranted his classic quip. Give me time, that's who we will be. No doubt, a new $10 trillion bar might have been set, and Herbert would have asked with a straight face, how do we be BlackRock? Yes, that's Herbert, the global thinker. The Wigwe University. Herbert Wigwe recognized that a great authentic African story would be told best by educated Africans, equipped not only with experiences and accomplishments, but with a solid education. So once again, he defied the odds to establish the Wigwe University. With $500 million in funding, the mission was clear. Even if remarkably ambitious, the Wigwe University would be a demonstration of the fearlessness of Africans to ignite their potential for prosperity, nurture resourceful, fearless leaders, and become the leading university in Africa. Wigwe University is the result of Herbert's audacity to build an exceptional, world-class African institution, poised to groom the next generation of leaders who would change the face of the African continent, and by extension, rewrite the African narrative.
A future without Herbert. All the chapters have been written, the culmination of years of editing, rewriting, strategy, and planning. The final script is ready, yet the African narrative Herbert worked tirelessly to create will be recited without him. He pioneered so many initiatives and had a seat on almost every relevant industry board. He was the college chairman, HIV Trust Fund of Nigeria, chairman, Nigerian Business Coalition Against AIDS, founding member, African Sector Coalition Against COVID-19, and so much more. Herbert was a unifier, the glue that held together so many relationships. People rarely met him and disliked him because he understood the power of relationships and meeting people where they were. He simply got people. Herbert Wigwe ought to be alive to see all the fruits of his labor, his life's work. The Access warrior would have wished he was here to witness them do all the great things he set them up to deliver. Walking onto the 14th floor shouting the mantra would never be the same, but the tradition will live on. Never losing sight of his vision, his presence will be felt with every accomplishment. The warriors forge on. Herbert built and nurtured an army of professional warriors who were equipped with everything they needed to be bold and to dream big. In his absence, these biggest responsibilities remains carrying on his dream with the passion and conviction which he led. He often asked, if we promote all of you, where will you all be? He could have stayed in the comfort zone of the empire he created, and the organization would still have been the great giant Access today. But he kept pushing for the creation of new markets to ensure that there was enough opportunities for everyone. We had to create new markets so all of you can excel on your own, he often said. This is a man who took on a chance on fresh graduates and entrusted them with responsibilities most would only assign to counterparts which were much greater experience. Much the same way he took a chance on countless children. He sponsored and spent time teaching and mentoring in furtherance of its fundamental belief that everyone has potential for greatness and that greatness could be born from those who start out with little knowledge, as long as everyone is willing to commit to sharing, coaching, and nurturing. That's how many of the Access Warrior grew under the leadership of General Herbert Wigwe, Optima Prime.
Herbert will be missed. How does one quantify the greatness of this loss? You don't. You cannot. We can never. It is simply unquantifiable. Access Warrior will miss so much about Herbert Wigwe's physical presence, his smile, his laughter, his banter, his friendship, his passion, the drive, his loyalty. Yes, even his singing and dancing as he celebrates with his people, personally and professionally. Yet, we must carry on in faith that he completed the task assigned to him on his eternal sojourn. Herbert Wigwe was a man of deep faith. He often said he was not a pastor, but God-designated builder. At the last leadership workshop he attended, Herbert asked a volunteer to tell the Access story. At the end of the presentation, Herbert said something striking. The story of Access is not about any one individual. Rather, it is a story of the success of an ecosystem, like a tree planted by a river with enough to feed everyone. This is the story of Herbert Wigwe's life, his legacy, and the unshakable faith. And it is at times like this that our faith must kick in. Access Warrior must charge on, knowing that Herbert run a good race and pass the baton strongly. Now, he rests. United in our conviction that we will remain. Before I say this last word, I would like everybody to rise as we chant, just as we always chant. Access Warrior, unbound, unbent, unbroken. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. I think we should do that one more time. Access Warriors, unbound, unbent, unbroken. And that's what it's about. We're unbound, we're unbent, we're certainly unbroken. Herbert's care and investment in people, his ambition, constantly tested the boundaries as a general, led the Access Nation Army forward, built not just an institution that can be credited to one individual, but an ecosystem like a tree planted by a river with fruits to feed everyone. Truly, truly remarkable. Next on the agenda, we have a couple of legacy videos. It's really been tough to put all of this together, to really try and summarize or even try to capture the essence of Herbert Wigwe. But we have a key talent at Access Nation who have attempted this and have put together a series of videos to talk about Herbert's legacy, and we're going to show that to you now.
Access Bank's journey from its inception as a public limited liability company to its remarkable transformation into a world-class financial institution is one of vision, strategic leadership, and a commitment to excellence. The bank's journey is laced with key milestones, visionary decisions, and a dedicated management team that propelled Access Bank to unprecedented heights within the Nigerian banking industry.
One day, I traveled to Port Harcourt with my boss, and he calls me. Obviously, my boss was with me in the same car, and he says, "Are we still going to remain cowards?" I told him, "No, I'm coming back to Lagos." I had to leave, had to say something that could not take me to trouble, and so he said, "Well, this is an opportunity this is the opportunity we've been looking for, and that BGL had come up with something." So we looked at it and said, "Well, let's go for it." But you know, doing these things alone are extremely difficult because it requires focus, it requires a very clear thought process, it requires somebody you can lean on. But as soon as he raised it, the answer was, let's do it. All right, and that was the beginning of a new story.
A prelude to transformation.
The bank got its license May 11th, if I recall, 1989, and by 2002, there was a new investor group. But between 1989 and 2002, as you'd have found in most Nigerian banks, what they were doing was very basic things like selling from an exchange. They did not have the right value system. The banks was, at that time, very, very small and all. In fact, Access Bank was something like number 78 out of the 120 banks.
Access Bank officially became a public limited liability company on March 24, 1998, setting the stage for a series of strategic moves that would redefine its trajectory. The pivotal moment arrived on November 18, 1998, when the bank was listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, marking a significant step towards greater visibility and market presence. As Access Bank journeyed onwards, the year 2001 emerged as a turning point for the bank. On February 5, 2001, Access Bank secured a universal banking license from the Central Bank of Nigeria. This pivotal moment coincided with a shift in leadership dynamics.
2002, we came in, I, myself, a new management team, the likes of Roosevelt, etc.
Our mission statement, which extension is the justification for our existence today and for the future, is to go beyond the ordinary, to deliver the perceived impossible in the quest for excellence. Going beyond the ordinary essentially means that we would essentially step away from current industry standards in terms of performance or practice and look for all those things which would essentially take service, delivery, and efficiency to the next level. I.e., whether it's as basic as in day as making sure that customers get their statements on the first working day of the next month, or right down to the creation of bespoke cash management systems, all right, for the more discerning customers.
Repositioning and rebranding. In 2003, Access Bank initiated a strategic move to reposition its corporate identity, signaling a profound shift in its brand narrative. The old logo, featuring an abbreviated AB, underwent a metamorphosis. In its place emerged a silver-gray background with Access inscribed in white, accompanied by 3 fast-forward chevrons. The lowercase alphabet in Access subtly conveyed an entry point and approachability, symbolizing the bank's commitment to providing financial gains, solutions delivery, growth, and myriad benefits to its diverse clientele.
There were many skeptics at our first presentation on the stock exchange. We went to share our transformation agenda. Even analysts thought it was a bit too audacious. Sustainability is not a one-year thing, you know. It's not a 10-year thing. It's a lifetime commitment. Running our business in a responsible manner has been something built into our model from the very beginning. And we think that if we give back to society and we continue to run our business in a responsible manner, that is the only way we can continue to grow.
Milestones and celebrations. Within its inaugural decade, Access Bank achieved monumental milestones that reverberated within and beyond the Nigerian banking industry. The bank's ascent was nothing short of remarkable. It ascended from the 65th position to an impressive 5th position in the banking hierarchy.
The past 10 years was consistent focus on the wholesale strategy. The next 10 years, we will have a much more focus on the retail market by embedding what we refer to as an enhanced retail strategy. What do these customers actually require? You must look at how am I going to serve the needs of these customers? What do we do to serve women? What do we do to serve ultra high net worth? All the way to the underbanked. And for us, what we've decided to do is basically provide all the products and services required to serve the disparate needs of the retail market. What has come out consistently in talking to the entire stakeholder group is the issue of speed, service, and security. Simply put, speed is about turnaround time. It's about making sure your customers receive their products or whatever they require at the time they need it. Service is about providing a world-class customer service focus. And security is simply about safe and sustainable banking.
The transformative journey had commenced. Visionary leadership. The position of the bank during this period of acquisition did not deter the visionary leaders, Igboje Ike Imokwede and Herbert Wigwe. Rather than succumbing to the challenges, they remained steadfast in their commitment to creating a sustainable and solid banking system. Herbert Wigwe in particular exhibited a profound passion for Access Bank's vision and mission. The vision and mission statements became more than corporate rhetoric. They became the guiding principles of Access Bank's strategic direction. Access Bank's journey serves as a testament to the transformative power of strategic vision, dynamic leadership, and a commitment to excellence.
2012 or thereabouts, which was as I was preparing to hand over to Herbert, I remember that retreat, okay? I said to the board that I know I'm leaving, but what is going to happen to Access Bank as I leave and when I leave, okay, is going to surprise the world, because Herbert is going to lead this bank to a whole new level. And that was when we crafted the notion of the world's most respected African bank. Putting together a new ESCO, okay, and putting together a team, okay, who would take the bank from 2013, okay, over a 10-year period, okay, to number one.
On behalf of Access Bank, I promise to serve our customers with speed, service, and security, and we will be held accountable for that promise.
I think it's okay if we can honor that with a resounding applause. Do I have employees and staff of the world's most respected African bank in the building? Come on. Herbert really believed that the people are at the heart of the organization. And so I'm sure that today, as we honor his life, you know, he's looking down on you and saying, you did it. You in this room, you are doing it, and you did it. So it's really wonderful. It's really wonderful to see. We're running out of time, so we're going to make it really fast. We have tributes, so we're going to do 2 more sets of these videos, and we'll have 3 sets of tributes. We're going to have the first set of tributes now. I know that if everyone here had a chance to speak, would speak endlessly about how Herbert has impacted our lives. So forgive me for being the one who would be a little annoying, and ensure that you keep to about 60 to 80 seconds with these tributes. I know that will be a challenge, but I'm hoping that you're able to do that. Our first set of speakers I'm just going to call them one after the other. We have Chigozie Ogwo, Retail Banking North. Can we welcome Chigozie Ogwo with a round of applause. And closely following Chigozie will be Chinyere C. Bishop Adigwe of Retail Banking South. So Chinyere, get ready. One more time for Chigozie.
A tribute to late Dr. Herbert Wigwe, CFR. The world came to a halt when the news of the sad event that took the life of Herbert, his wife and son, was filtering in from the media. We also received calls from colleagues, friends, and customers. We had all wished that we could turn back the hands of time. Even as the days went by, we had expected that this would somehow not be true. The truth then dawned on us when we heard the official announcement. This is the sad reality of life and nothing more. A time to come and a time to go. It was the time for Dr. Herbert. Truly, Dr. Herbert has prepared us for this day. I remember my first MCC presentation here in Lagos. He knew that it was my first time at the MCC, no doubt, as I was nervous. He did one thing to boost my confidence for that presentation. He said to me while I stood before the MCC, "Chigozie, I like your suit." Immediately, the fear that gripped me when my credit was flashed on the screen for that presentation vanished. He did that to just give me confidence so that I would be able to do a good presentation. And it was critical for me that he was the only one in that hall at that time who saw that fear and knew that that fear needed to vanish and to boost my confidence. After my presentation and approval of my credit, at some point during that MCC, he asked about the succession plan of a certain company that was presented. Subsequently, succession plan became a section of the presentation slides for small corporates. He knew that we are all on transit here on earth. Therefore, we should prepare for our exit and the impact it will have on businesses we lead, both as staff and for our customers. Dr. Herbert worked in Kano in the early days of his career at GT. So Kano is so dear to him because it was during his youthful days and the friendship he built still subsists till date. He knew the city very well, that he pointed to locations where some companies previously operated from when he worked in Kano. For us in the Retail Division North, Dr. Herbert had in the first year as GMD CEO said that retail is the future. At least if we cannot compete with the level of industrial and commercial activity in the South, we can push in the retail space. He pushed for the growth and branch expansion because we cannot achieve our vision without pursuing financial inclusion, especially in the North. We have committed that we must bank 1 out of every 2 Nigerian, and doing so means we will push and support our businesses in the heart of the North. He knew this day would come. All his dreams and aspirations were that Access Nation would be a world-class institution and a force to be reckoned with. That is already the case today. He led, taught, and prepared us to be the best in what we do. His dreams and aspirations will not die as long as we are here. May the souls of Dr. Herbert, his wife Chizoba, and son Chizi rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen. Adieu, Dr. Herbert. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chigozie Ugbo, Retail Banking North. We welcome Chinyere C. Bishop Adigwe from Retail Banking South.
Good evening, everyone. To Herbert, the phoenix, the warrior, the legend. Today, we pay homage to a visionary and fearless leader, Herbert Onyewumbu Wigwe, whose legacy transcends the boundaries of time. During his earthly journey, he successfully juggled so many roles as a husband, father, son, a brother, an uncle, a business executive and associate, a colleague, a mentor, a benefactor, an employer, and above all, a true Christian who gave selflessly to promote the church. I joined Access Bank 12 years ago, and in these years, I had various encounters with Herbert. But the most impressionable one I had was some years ago when I got detained by a customer, and I had spent so many hours. I had given up hope. My family had given up hope that I was going to stay that day. But even though Herbert was out of the country, he ensured that I was released. And I recall that as I stepped out before midnight, I was glad that I went home to my family. That was who Herbert was, a pro-family man, always looking out for us. A lot of us at Access have also had our own share of personal experience with him. On numerous occasions, he has paid medical bills for staff who had no means of paying or who had a shortfall in their medical bill. Herbert was an extraordinary soul who impacted the lives of people within and outside the Access Nation. His dedication, resilience, and commitment motivates all of us to always give our best. Little wonder we are addressed as Access warriors. For Retail South Bank, Herbert was a great support to our business. He touched our individual lives positively, thereby replicating himself in all of us and imbibing in each staff the fearless spirit to overcome any daunting obstacle. This touch from Herbert was not only to staff alone, but our customers as well. Following his transition to glory, we have been amazed by calls and engagement from customers who have been broken by this painful loss and who have spoken passionately on how great he impacted not only their businesses, but also their individual lives. Herbert Onyewumbu Wigwe, Commander of the Federal Republic, the great oracle of Isiokpo, you dared and inspired others to achieve the impossible. I personally am grateful. Who I was in 2012 is not who I am today. I am more, so much more, because there is a Herbert in me. You're a great man. You're a man of great wisdom. and audacious goals. You are simply unforgettable. We at Retail South Bank of Access are committed to the vision. We know that there is no turning back. There is no abandoning of the ship. Your name and achievements and legacy will continually live on. You remain unbowed, unbent, and unbroken. May perpetual light shine on you, dear Herbert, on your wife, Doreen, and Cheesy, your son. And may God grant you all eternal rest through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. And for IT, we're going to have Oluwakbo Olorunleke, and shortly after that, to speak on behalf of African subsidiaries, Beverlyn Kwano. So can we welcome Oluwakbo Olorunleke with a warm round of applause. Beverlyn Kwano, please get ready.
Tribute to Herbert Wigwe. Today, as we gather to bid farewell to a remarkable leader, mentor, and friend, our hearts are heavy with grief, yet overflowing with gratitude for the profound impact Herbert has had on each of our lives. Herbert was not just a visionary leader. His impact on each one of us goes beyond the professional realm. In the corridors of technology, he was not merely a captain. He was a guiding star that illuminated our paths with wisdom, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Under Herbert's leadership, the IT division transcended boundaries, transforming challenges into opportunities and dreams into realities. His foresight and unwavering determination paved the way for innovation, pushing us to strive for nothing short of excellence in everything we pursue. His ability to inspire, motivate, and uplift those around him knew no bounds, leaving an enduring legacy of inspiration that will continue to guide us in the years to come. On my birthday this year, the 31st of January, I remember telling my colleague that I was going to tell Roosevelt and Herbert that it was my birthday, and I believed that they would respond. I dropped a WhatsApp message for Roosevelt saying, "Hi, sir, good afternoon. How are you today? Thought to let you know that today is my birthday." And he actually responded, "Happy birthday and the very best of today and the year ahead. God bless." I remember showing my colleague that I told you I was going to get a response and I was ready to send my message to Herbert, but I got distracted and forgot to press send. I felt bad when I realized, but thought to still send it later. During our stand-up meeting at Project Everest's office, I remember jokingly saying to the team that if anyone stresses me again, then they will know that Herbert and Roosevelt are my daddies. 10th of February, 2024. The news hits. There are no words to describe the emotions. I called my mom to let her know about the sad news. I could not stop crying, and the words would not come. I struggled to sleep that night. How will it ever make sense that just like that, the world was robbed of this powerful leader of ours in his prime, with so much left to do? What is the life lesson here? I do not know. Dr. Herbert Wigwe, your legacy will forever live on in the lines of code we write, the challenges we overcome, and the bond of friendship that define our division. We remain unbound, unbent, and unbroken. Rest in peace, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Oluwakbo. And this is Beverlyn. Can we celebrate Beverlyn Kwano to speak on behalf of African subsidiaries?
Good evening. Tribute to Dr. Herbert Wigwe from Access Bank African Subsidiaries. Truly a shining star of Africa, transcending global borders. a unique beacon of Africa's warmth and sunshine, a force for African communities in every essence. Wherever you are, smile, for your indelible mark is imprinted in the sands of time. Africa is glad that you passed through our lives, even for a while. Today we mourn the passing of a great man, Dr. Herbert Wigwe, whom we affectionately called Herbert, whose untimely death in the company of his beloved wife and son sent more than shockwaves across the world and a great sense of grief to all of us in the African subsidiaries. The Access Bank family, including Ghana, Gambia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Cameroon in the west, Kenya, DRC, Rwanda in the east, Zambia, Mozambique, Botswana, and South Africa in south, and indeed the whole of Africa, have truly lost a precious gem. Africa's love journey and encounter with Dr. Herbert Wigwe began in 2006 with the bank's entry into Gambia, our first foray outside Nigeria, at a time when only a few domestic banks were in operation outside their home country. During each of his visits, Herbert was never too busy to say hello. He would look at you and say, "It's a saying." His warmth, yes, his warmth was genuine. His handshake was real. And his ability to connect with the people on a deeply personal level was very human. Whether it was lending a listening ear, offering sage advice, or simply sharing a laugh over lunch, he made every individual feel valued and appreciated. Herbert wanted the subsidiaries to be relevant, not only within Access nations, but impactful in the communities in which we served. We cannot leave out the fact that he will be remembered also for his kindness, generosity, and his strong support for the development and success of women. Taking a cue from John F. Kennedy's words, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Herbert's goal was to serve Africa and see it grow into an advanced continent with a higher standard of living for all and not what Nigeria and Africa can do for him. Today, we say farewell to our trusted leader. We carry on his legacy with grace, integrity, and a commitment to making a difference in Africa for Africans. We know that Herbert's spirit lives on in our hearts, in our offices and hallways, and in all parts of the world where he left his footprints. In times of trials and challenges, in times of grief and loss, we are called to lift our eyes to the Lord, for he is our help, our hope, and our strength. I lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, for he made heaven and earth. Psalms 1:2 and verse 4. May Herbert, Doreen, his wife, and son Chizzy rest in perfect peace. Dr. Herbert Wigwe, Yawa Ojogba, Dr. Herbert Wigwe, Deye, Dr. Herbert Wigwe, Panzuka, Amani. Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly. And as Beverly just said, our hope truly is in the Lord. And today, we want to reiterate that hope. We want to bask in that hope. And so I'm going to welcome Access Choir to lead us in a song that establishes a hope in Christ alone. In Christ alone we abide. Abide with me. If you know the song, you can join us. If you want to stand, feel free as well. Yes, it's okay to celebrate the hope that we have. And indeed, death, where is your sting? O grave, where is thy victory? 1 Thessalonians 4:13 says, I do not want you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning those who have fallen asleep, lest you sorrow as others who have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who sleep in Jesus. Part of our hope today is that Herbert is simply asleep with the Lord, and that hope will abide in all of our hearts in Jesus' name. We're going to have another round of our tribute videos. As I said earlier, they've been carefully curated to attempt to capture the story of Herbert and Access Bank and his role in building this great institution into what it is today. For the benefit of some of the new members of the Access Nation family and those who are here who might not still be staff of Access, but once a member of the family, forever a member of the family, it's just to help us remember the times of Herbert. And so our second round of the legacy video would come now.
Access Bank's trajectory of growth and expansion has been nothing short of remarkable, characterized by both organic development and strategic acquisitions. The bank swiftly ascended to become one of Nigeria's premier corporate banks, renowned for its robust compliance standards, effective risk management practices, and expertise in trade finance. In 2012, a significant milestone was achieved as Access Bank solidified its position as one of Nigeria's top 5 banks through the acquisition of Intercontinental Bank. This strategic move marked the beginning of a new chapter as the bank intensified its focus on both retail and corporate banking segments. At the forefront of this growth trajectory was Herbert Wigwe, whose visionary leadership played a pivotal role in shaping Access Bank's ascent. Central to his strategic approach was a steadfast commitment to sustainability and the welfare of both customers and employees. By the year 2013, Access Bank had garnered an AA rating from S&P, a testament to its sound financial standing and management prowess. The milestone enabled the bank to tap into global capital markets with its inaugural $350 million Eurobond issuance in July 2012. With a bold vision to emerge as Africa's preeminent bank on the global stage.
We spent the whole day, the leadership team, trying to create a change story and to share where we're headed. It also takes us back to where we're coming from and the things that are required for us to achieve our greatest ambitions. So this is this Lego game which we've been working on all day. And what does it show? Our story is very simple. It shows where we started from, our very humble beginnings. Our people represent our most important assets.
And what you see out here at the beginning of the platform are people going through our training school. So all of these 3 young people, for instance, represent a whole lot of people who have come in to basically come and grow their careers out here. So we now rise, go through training school, come onto this platform. What this platform signifies is that the bank is providing you a platform for you to meet your career aspirations, for wealth creation, whatever it may be. So you have career fulfillment, you have your career, you have financial fulfillment, all of those things that are required and important for you to do well, whatever you choose to do in life. Now, if you look at this, where we're headed to be number 1, rock solid, number 1 on every metric. So that is what this whole gulf represents.
Access Bank embarked on a new 5-year strategy.
When we launched our current 5-year corporate strategic plan, we said we wanted to be one of the top 3 banks in our chosen markets. And I think that has been largely achieved. We have a very clear history of proven records, and we're extremely happy with the results that we've achieved together. It's not been easy, but it's one that we've all dedicated ourselves to. We have started our next journey, which is basically a continuation, but only a much more ambitious journey, one that we will all be extremely proud of. It is the creation of a new kind of bank, a bank that truly will put customers first, a bank providing banking services to millions and millions of Nigerians. And I'm not talking of 1 or 5 or 10 million Nigerians. In a country with 200 million people odd, we will be providing banking services to several more people. In the international scene, we will also take a much more prominent role, not just from Nigeria, but also across the continent and in the different markets in the Middle East and Asia, where we currently have a presence. We will be a bank to be admired in this continent. That is the legacy we want to create.
The brand drivers were speed, service, security, and sustainability. Access Bank's ambition was crystal clear: to ascend to the top 3 positions in all markets where it operated.
Our CEO of the Year award to Mr. Herbert Wigwe.
We won 3 very significant awards today. The first was the best bank in Nigeria. The second was the most sustainable bank in Africa. And the third was the bank CEO of the Year. These are extremely important and prestigious awards as far as we're concerned, because they mark major milestones in the development of our institution as we go on to create the most respected African bank. We worked on this for the past 14 years, and we are proud that EMEA Finance could have found us deserving of these 3 awards. Of course, to have achieved all of this, the first credit goes to all Access people who have been unrelenting in pursuing the creation of what will be the most respected African bank, certainly by 2017. And of course, under the support of our board and management. And of course, just as important, our customers who have continued to support us by bringing and giving us their business.
Access Bank's ambition was crystal clear: to ascend to the top 3 positions in all markets where it operated.
One of the things we're trying to show is that there's a negative narrative around Nigeria, and we want to make sure that we bring people to Nigeria, to Lagos, and show that things can be done properly. That's the first and most important thing. The second is that from a health standpoint, by participating in sports and doing things like that, people can live healthier lives. It's also a time to bond. So those are some of the reasons that have pushed us towards it. But seeing 100,000 people out today in Lagos, all right, running and all of that, and the spirit out here today, for me, is the greatest thing that's happened this year.
The merger between Access Bank and Diamond Bank in 2019 marked a significant milestone in the bank's journey.
And we have 2 great brands coming together. We have the vibrancy and the youth of Diamond and the strong digital focus, combining with an institution that has a strong wholesale business, that has basically a strong global presence. That combination is creating an enlarged institution that is unparalleled in this market. For customers, you will see more than banking. If you talk about the inclusive segment, they are going to get a lot more services. You will see a lot more support for SMEs. That's where we're headed.
After its takeover of Diamond Bank, Lagos-based lender Access is now Nigeria's biggest bank by assets.
Under the astute leadership of Herbert Wigwe as MD CEO, Access Bank achieved remarkable progress in terms of assets, sustainability, strategic acquisitions, and expansion across Africa and beyond.
We will continue to create the best bank in the institution. And Access bankers, if we come together collectively to do the things we've said we'll do, if we come together in unison, honestly, there is no mountain whatsoever, any type of mountain that can support us, that can surpass us. We will continue, even Kilimanjaro, at the end of the day, when we are known as the world's most respected African bank, will be at the bottom of our feet. Gentlemen, please enjoy your dinner. In 2018 to 2023, we will be the leading bank in Nigeria. We will be one of the strongest banks in the continent. We will be known as Africa's gateway to the world. We are not creating just a Nigerian bank or an African bank. We are creating a global institution, but coming out of Africa. We will posture ourselves in a manner that we cannot be disintermediated. We will be present in the large money center capitals of the world. We will do things that can develop our economy. We will support financial inclusion in Nigeria. We will make sure that our people will stand side by side other professionals in leading institutions across the world, and they will be operating at the same standard. People say that Access Bank is a Nigerian bank. The origin may be Nigerian, but I think it's better for people to look at us like a global player because we do have the multi-country presence outside of Africa, all right? But I think the real benefit, though, is the fact that we bring best practice to where we are. But I think the greatest thing is that coming to our brother country, South Africa, all right, it is for us to prove ourselves, and we will be great ambassadors of Nigeria out here. We will be present in the major economies in the continent, particularly in Middle Africa, and would also be present in what we refer to as the large trade corridor.
Access Bank continued its expansion efforts across the African continent and in global trade hubs, strategically positioning itself to capitalize on Africa's burgeoning trade flows with the rest of the world and within the continent itself.
China's financial market is opening its doors to one of Nigeria's leading banks, Access Bank.
Access Bank's unwavering commitment to excellence, coupled with Herbert Wigwe's visionary leadership, has positioned the bank as a formidable player in the global financial landscape. With a relentless focus on innovation, customer centricity, and strategic growth initiatives, Access Bank continues to chart a trajectory of success, poised to realize its vision of becoming Africa's leading financial institution.
Today, Rosie, I will give you this number. I'll give you the key to all the balls of the bank across 15 countries.
I think that as Access Nation, the best way to honor, truly honor Herbert Wigwe is to make a promise that all of the things that he said that this institution will become, that it would really become. And can another round of applause be a sign of our commitment to that promise, to make Access Bank the world's most respected African financial institution? Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to keep the time. We plan to be out of here at 7:30, but we're really struggling with time. We're going to plead with you that you give us 15 minutes extra. So we would hope to wrap up at around 7:45. And so I'm going to extend this plea to those giving the tributes to try and keep it to 1 minute. Our next set of tributes, first to speak on behalf of Access Corporation. Please welcome Yvette Hart.
Good evening. We write this with broken hearts, a lot of pain and tears dropping with every word. We have struggled to look at your picture in the lobby, and this got sadder when candles were put around the picture to illuminate it. This is because the light drew us to the picture and confirmed the reality we remain unwilling to accept. Our hearts know you're gone, but our heads are saying you're on a long trip and you'll be back soon. You made us understand that the Access Holding strategy is not about a set of presentation slides. It's a dream, our dream, one that we believed, felt, and still feel because of how passionately you spoke and described it. More so, how much passion you infused into making it feel so real. You see beyond what is in front of you, and you were so spot on sometimes, it felt you had a crystal ball, the HOW crystal ball. Every time we recited our vision to create a globally connected community and ecosystem inspired by Africa for the world, you made us understand that we're the poster children for Africa on the global stage and proud of our African heritage. We understand that our vision is not about profit, but rather the impact we have on our communities by leveraging the strength of our ecosystem. In our first Holdco retreat, we had to describe Access as a car and an animal, and you chose the African lion, representing the pride in our heritage and how fearless we were expected to be. And for the car, the Bentley, representing our class and uniqueness. In these last few weeks, hearing the world speak of the encounters with you, it has become more evident that your choices were because you lived through the brand we all love. You once told us of a young child you met in Kaduna who clung to you and how your heart broke when you were leaving her. You spoke about how much she cried and how much you felt as if you were leaving your child behind. You had followed the life of that child, and you spoke to us how far she had come. Today we feel like that young child, and we wish you could cling to your trousers a little longer because we're not ready to say goodbye. No matter how tough a situation looked, you would always see a solution. Just pull it out, you would say. We'll solve the problem. In the memory of your legacy, we promise that no matter how tough it gets, we'll chant this phrase in our minds. Pull it out, and we'll solve the problem. You are the general we lost, but you created so many generals and left the battle strategy in the simplest form, so we could take it and win the war. We have our marching orders, and we'll fight till the end. We imagine you applauding and saying, take them out, take them all out. We imagine you're in heaven, and you've already made an impact with a strategy of how you run the rest of time. We hope you have enough sweet tangerine, and they know how you like it, peeled in a saucer. We also hope they serve espresso the way you like it. To say we'll miss you is making a complex emotion seem so simple, but we'll cope with it one day at a time because you have it no other way. Thank you for the impact on our lives and Africa, and with a guard of honor, all your soldiers bid you farewell, chanting, awu, awu, awu. You drift away from us, a true warrior, unbowed, unbent, unbroken. Rest in peace.
Thank you, Yvette. Emmanuel Adewoyin is next to speak on behalf of commercial banking. Right after Emmanuel, Joy Okoegwale, forgive me for murdering that name. Joy for corporate banking, get ready, as well as Jite Ovurai for Accelerate. Can we welcome him with a round of applause?
hard to speak about the man. He was so great and we touched so many lives in so many ways, both on a professional and personal level. Mentioning his name at meetings was a game changer, as customers who did not know him mused in admiration, and for those who knew him, fondly told tales of their relationship and how he came through them, and how he came through for them. Most of them referred him as a brother and friend. My colleagues in commercial banking division who had had the opportunity to visit customers with him would always come back with renewed energy just from being in the same space with him, and marveled at his sheer charisma, authority, and never say no attitude. He was fiercely focused on his audacious goals, yet kind. He never failed to use the words please and thank you. He was the boss, yet cautious. He knew most people by name. How he did that amazes me. I really wish I knew so I could emulate him. He was genuinely interested in everyone's growth. He was a visionary and a powerhouse. I remember the various town hall meetings, the questions and answer sessions. So inspiring that you'd be proud to be a staff of Access Bank. The way he got us to understand the bank's goals and make it our own was sublime. His legacy is not just in the success of the bank, but in the lives he touched, the hearts he inspired, and the values he instilled in us. Herbert was loved by staff and customers. On the 3rd of January 2022, I had a personal encounter with Herbert, one I would never forget. Herbert was to meet with the commissioner, with the Oyo State Governor and the Commissioner of Finance. It was a Sunday, and I went to church, but had to leave early to meet up with Herbert's entourage at the State Secretariat. I was dressed in a suit, just as I would have appeared on a Monday. We went to the Commissioner's Finance office. He saw me and said he liked how I was dressed. And on Steve on cue, the Commissioner also added on how diligent and reliable I am as an account officer. I could not contain my exhilaration and was smiling from hair to hair. We went to the governor's house, and in the governor's living room, Herbert sent for me and asked that I come see him in Lagos. At this point, I was just euphoric. I mean, here was the GMD of Access Corporation, one of the leading institutions in Africa, inviting me, an Ibadan boy, to come and see him. I was curious and had no idea what to expect. I traveled to Lagos that Wednesday. I got to Herbert's office and met his personal assistant, who informed me that I was around. After a while, he came out with a group of people who he had just concluded a meeting with. He met me and told me how I was really impressed with how I dressed on a Sunday when he visited Ibadan, and I should keep representing the bank well. The meeting was brief, but its effect still puts in me to date. He then told his personal assistant to book an hotel for me for the night, and I was told to order anything on the menu. And of course, I had sober that particular evening. He also told his personal assistant to make arrangements for me to be taken to this Indian frontier the next morning to get me 4 3-piece suits and 2 pairs of shoes. And to crown it all, Herbert, as I was departing Lagos, Herbert's personal assistant, Shola, requested for my account number, and I got a little token. This experience changed my life, changed my attitude towards work. I was convinced from that day that I wanted to be great and successful. But not just that, I want to touch lives, touch nations positively, just like Herbert Wigwe did. It is sad that he is no more. I last saw him 6 weeks ago. We met at the ground floor of the Access store. To my greatest surprise, he recognized me after 2 years, and he asked how I was, and we spoke briefly about work. And he told me to stay close to him. We, the commercial banking division staff, have lost our #1 supporter and leader. He will be sorely missed. We join the other staff of the corporation to commit that we will do our very best to keep his dreams, his vision alive. We will remain unbound, unbent, and unbroken. We will miss you so much, sir. Rest on Herbert, Doreen, and Chizzy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mano. All right, for corporate banking, Joy Okoegwale. Can we welcome her? And Jite Uvuaraye, get ready.
Thank you. Good evening, hearts are heavy, our sadness profound beyond words. Yet we summon the strength to gather. It is not the kind of gathering we could ever have envisaged. Indeed, it feels like a very long, scary dream. And we still wish we could wake up from it. We still pinch ourselves, hoping we'll wake up. But we are awake. With the pain weighing down, an indelible mark imprinted into every fiber of our being as individuals and as an organization. Yet we have a legacy to fight for, to keep going for, a legacy to protect, to continue. The legacy of Herbert Wigwe, our Herbert. To a journey of extraordinary accomplishments marked by a relentless pursuit of excellence and a deep commitment to serving others. To a visionary leader whose impact transcends boundaries, as we have seen in our journey with him over the last 20 years. Whose light will continue to shine brightly in our hearts and minds. We hear his voice in our hearts, in our meetings, in our memos, in our gatherings. As we deliberate, we are asking, what would Herbert have said? What would he have done? What joke would he have told? We hear his voice urging us into greatness, into taking great giant strides to yield accomplishments that are unimaginable, into delivering the perceived impossible in the quest for excellence. To our Herbert, who charted new frontiers in the banking industry, consolidating Access Bank into a powerhouse of innovation and impact. To a beacon of hope and inspiration, a tireless advocate for economic empowerment and environmental sustainability, with a vision that extended far beyond the bottom line, demonstrating that success is not measured solely by financial metrics, but by the positive impact we have on the world around us. So not just a visionary leader, but also a role model, a mentor, a beloved friend. You've all heard the personal testimonies. Too many, if we all were to stand here, would say our stories. And so Herbert went from Emenina to Kwegwali. The first day he called me that in the lift, I was shocked. How would you, like, from Joy to Emenina, and now you know my new name? How? That's the man. Very personal. That's Herbert. As we reflect on Herbert's extraordinary life, we take solace in the knowledge that this legacy will continue for generations to come. His spirit lives on in the countless lives he touched and the countless hearts he inspired. He no longer walks amongst us in person, but his guiding light will continue to illuminate our path forward, reminding us to strive for excellence, to lead with integrity, and to always endeavor to make the world a better place. Your legacy will forever be cherished, Herbert. And your memory will continue to inspire us to reach for the stars. We will fight. We will keep this thing that started. We will do everything within our powers to ensure that it continues. It is very hard to say, indeed, very hard. It's surreal. Yet, farewell. Jen Kwoma, Herbert Wigwe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joy. All right. GT, over can we welcome GT with another round of applause?
In the heart of Accelerate TV's journey learns the indelible mark of our champion, mentor, and friend, Herbert Wigwe. Yes, there have been many who made us who we are today, but from inception in 2014, Herbert tasked us with reaching and inspiring the youth of the nation. That was Herbert to us, the visionary. He pushed all of us to do more and be more. As Accelerate grew and evolved, Herbert's guidance was always there in one way or another, illuminating our every step. Herbert's belief in our potential was unwavering, and in 2016, he recognized the true essence and rallied our team of 7 to do more, so we got to it. We rebranded and have continued to drive the core goal of being industry pioneers. Accelerate became more than just a brand. It became a platform for meaningful connections and empowerment through captivating content like Visa on Arrival and King Women. We bridge the gap between Access Bank and millions of viewers across the world, igniting laughter and inspiration alike. Herbert would watch our shows and ask industry titans if they saw the last episode, sharing thoughts during DSC and even in elevator conversations. The truth is that his impact extended far beyond our screens. In 2017, he was the driving force behind initiatives like the Filmmaker Project, aiming to empower leaders of tomorrow, inspiring us to create a platform that nurtured aspiring talents and had a hand in shaping the film industry. His presence was not just motivational, it was transformative, infusing every interaction with humor, wisdom, and boundless encouragement. As you heard, loads of us have at least one Herbert story. In times of adversities, Herbert's resolve only grew stronger. Even amidst the challenges of the global pandemic, he empowered us to be innovative and led us to embarking on the groundbreaking events. You know, we had the first CEO Awards, which was distanced. Beyond his professional achievements, as we reflect on Herbert's remarkable journey, our hearts overflow with gratitude. Thank you, sir, for your unwavering belief in our potential, your relentless pursuits for excellence, and your boundless generosity of spirit. Your legacy will forever inspire us to reach higher, dream bigger, carry the torch of innovation. And as we continue to educate, entertain, and empower the future leaders of tomorrow, we look back and in this time of loss extend our deepest condolences to the Wigwe family, friends, and loved one. May his memory be a source of comfort and strength, guiding us to honor his vision and continue to strive for greatness. May Herbert, his wife Doreen, and son Chizzy rest in eternal peace. With love from your Super A team, Accelerate, who will remain unbound, unbent, and unbroken.
Thank you. Thank you, Gize, for speaking on behalf of Accelerate TV. It's still an evening of song, and we have a rendition of one of Herbert's favorite songs, and that will be done by a very talented singer with an amazing voice, and I want you to welcome him. His name is Zadok. Can we welcome Zadok with a round of applause? As he does a rendition of Frank Sinatra's My Way in celebration and in honor of Dr. Herbert Wigwe.
Sound. And now the time is here. I face my fear of wage and suffering. My friends, I'll say it clear. I'll say my state of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled all all around the highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I know it's few, and I can say you haven't always. I've charted on my course with these I know I walked the long way. I know my time is sleep. Much more than this. Yes, there were times I know you're sure that you have been more than happy. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew that I had to do all alone. Much more than this, I had it all. I had it all my way. I had it all my way. Thank you so much, Zadok. And following closely, Sisioma doing a rendition of a classic that says, I was here, as Herbert Wigwe was here.
We say thank you to Sir Herbert Wigwe for the footprints he left in the sands of time, and for the fire he has ignited in the hearts of so many, making them determined to make a difference in the world. Thank you, sir. I wanna leave my footprints in the sands of time. Know there was something there and something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I leave no regrets. Leave something to remember, so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I wanna say I lived each day until I died, and know that I brought something in somebody's life. The hearts that I've touched will be proof that I lived, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I just want them to know that I gave my all, did my best, brought someone some happiness, left this world a little better just because I was here. I was I did, I've done everything that I want, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sisioma. And indeed, he was here. He has left his footprints on the sand of time. He loved, he fought on our behalf. We love him, we remember him, and we'll continue to fight each day in honor of him. One more time, Access Nation, the unbound, the unbent, and the unbroken ones. Can we celebrate and honor the life of Dr. Herbert Wigwe one more time? We're going to have our final set of tributes this evening, and hopefully we can push through before we hit our time limit. Our first speaker for this last set is Halima Salawu, who will be speaking for hydrogen. Can we welcome Halima? And right after Halima, Mojisola Koka, get ready.
Good evening, everyone. A tribute to Dr. Herbert Wigwe. Charismatic, charming, and stylish, Herbert was one of the finest and most prominent bank CEOs I have ever had the opportunity to meet. The first time I had an up-close interaction with him was in his tastefully furnished office on the 13th floor at Access Towers. I immediately knew he was a person of class as soon as I walked into his office. From the huge door to the choice of office walls designs, the artwork, his working table, and a mini conference area in the large office, you could tell he had a thing for class. The meeting was short and direct. If you have ever had the opportunity to meet Herbert Wigwe, you would know that he hardly even had time for himself. And that he was engaged every second of the day. Herbert could get as many as 3 important phone calls in a space of 5 minutes, Your Highness, Your Excellency, okay, sir, are the words you would typically hear intermittently from those conversations. He was a very humble and respectful man despite his success and affluence. During most of the meetings in the second half of 2023, Herbert always reminded us at Hydrogen that an Armageddon was coming. He foresaw the current economic happenings in Nigeria and wanted Access Nation to be at the eye of the storm, always ahead of others and in a safe place. Little wonder he built Access Bank to be the bank it is today. Let's do it. We will clean it up as we progress. Most of the words that you would hear from Herbert Wigwe. He was strategic and cerebral. He had a thing for numbers. Numbers excited him. He could discuss and throw numbers around during review sessions for hours non-stop. Herbert believed in Africa. Herbert was especially in love with Nigeria and Extension Africa. He was a lover of Africans' art and music, and that was very evident in his comments and actions. This is why you would see Africa prominently mentioned in Hydrogen's vision to build Africa's most powerful business services network. I watched one of the 2019 interviews of Arise TV, where O.J. Okwe was asked Herbert what gives him joy, and he answered in very clear terms, watching my people be the best that they can be. He always mentioned three things that he couldn't live without: family, sanctuary, and work. Just before the interview ended, he was asked what his biggest success was, and Herbert replied saying, "My Access people are my biggest success. Our prayers are with his family and friends and very close associates. May the soul of Herbert Wigwe continue to rest in perfect peace. Amen."
Thank you so much, Halima. And indeed, Access Nation is his biggest success. Mojisola Koka of Access Pension. Can we welcome Mojisola? Okay, Obama, get ready.
Good evening, everyone. Tribute to Dr. Herbert Wigwe, our fearless leader. Herbert was the driving force behind our accomplishments in the short period of the entrance of Access Holdings into the pensions industry as the largest shareholder in a pension fund administrator. You were a force of nature. You had clarity of thought and a vision to excel in all that you committed your time to. We remember your passion for the African person and how you always instilled in us the courage to compete, to be the best, comparable to any institution in the world. To Herbert, there was no reason we could not be a HSBC or JP Morgan. We had the capacity and competence needed to achieve this. Your mantra was that we should be fearless. Your insistence on dominance in our business was always based on the contribution and impact we would be able to make in the economy based on our size. We could contribute to infrastructure, real estate, and other social impact programs that would lift Nigeria. We always wondered about your impatience with slow growth, as if you knew you had only a short while with us. As the latest addition to the Access family, we had the shortest time with you. Notwithstanding, your vision was clear, and your legacy will surely be pursued and accomplished. You will surely be missed. You will sorely be missed. One of the important things I've learned from the life of Herbert is working with time. Time waits for no one, so what can be done today should not be left to tomorrow. We all must work with a sense of urgency and not procrastinate, because tomorrow is not promised. May the souls of Herbert, Doreen, and Chizzy rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Oge Obuma of the Enterprise Resource Group. Let's welcome Oge. Closely followed by Abiodun Afolabi of Oxygen X. And then we have Adedayo Amzat, the MD of Z-Cross Capital Limited and ex-staff at the bank, but still a member of Access Nation.
Good evening, everyone. A tribute to Herbert Wigwe,
a courageous and fearless leader. Today, we gather to honor Herbert, a leader whose impact transcends professional realm. Herbert's leadership has left an indelible mark on our lives and the legacy of our organization. Herbert's fearlessness in the face of challenges has been truly inspiring. Time and again, he has shown us what it means to lead with courage and conviction, pushing boundaries and exploring new frontiers. His unwavering determination has propelled our organization to unprecedented heights. But Herbert leadership goes beyond mere professional accomplishments. It is warmth, humility, and genuine care for those around him that truly sets him apart. He's been more than just a boss. He's been a mentor, a confidant, and a friend. I recall a personal encounter with Herbert while working in the executive office on his 50th birthday. He took time to approach me during a light refreshment, asking if I was actually enjoying myself. That simple gesture spoke volumes about his character, giving me a sense of belonging and inclusion. From the moment I joined the team, Herbert's remarkable leadership qualities stood out. Despite the high-pressure nature of our roles, he always made time to mentor and guide us. His open-door policy and willingness to listen to our ideas made us feel valued and respected. Herbert was a family man. He valued his family and would leave important meetings to attend to his parents whenever they come around. Even without notice, he would walk them down to their cars and make sure he hugs them as they leave. Herbert's dedication to our risk CSR projects, like inaugurating the school in Akodo Ishe, resonates deeply with us. His commitment to giving back has earned admiration from all corners. The community support, evident in their generous donation of land to the bank, reflects Herbert's impact. Let's remember his unwavering support for the division and his effort in managing relationship with regulators across our markets. His contribution to Riemann and the industry stand unmatched. Herbert, you've been more than a leader. You've been a guiding light, inspiring us to dream bigger, work harder, and never settle for anything less than excellence. Your impact will be felt for generations to come, and we are grateful for the privilege of knowing and working alongside you. Thank you, Herbert, for being the fearless leader that you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Abiodun Afolabi of Oxygen X Project. Can we welcome Abiodun as well, if you can? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today we gather to bid farewell to Dr. Herbert Wigwe, a revered figure and an African hero, whose influence stretched across nations. His dedication to improving communities, empowering individuals, and fostering positive change has left a lasting legacy on the continent and globally. In every facet of his life, he epitomized fearlessness, leadership, compassion, and resilience. One memory of him that pushes me to do more was when Herbert said, with a straight face, "I don't do small things." Imagine Herbert saying that to you, "I don't do small things," with a very straight face. Those words fire me up every time I remember them, to push beyond my limitations, never to do small things. As we honor his memory, let us draw inspiration from his remarkable journey and uphold his commitment to excellence and service. Herbert's legacy as an African hero will serve as a beacon, guiding us towards a brighter tomorrow. Farewell, Herbert. You will be sorely missed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Access Nation alumni community is very strong, as has been said several times. Once you're a member of the family, you're forever a member of the family. And we have a lot of them here present. We want to thank you for coming. And our final tribute will be by someone who will speak on behalf of former staff of the bank and all the subsidiaries and other corporates attached to the group. And that is Adedayo Amzat, the Managing Director of Z-Crest Capital Limited. Can we welcome him with a round of applause?
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the alumni and ex-staff of Access Bank, I'm here to talk about Herbert and how we feel. It was to be a very relaxing and fun weekend, the type I haven't had in a very long time. I was off to the Ivory Coast to watch the AFCON finals with a few friends. Upon landing in Abidjan at around 6:30 p.m. Lagos time on Saturday, I hooked up my phone to the Wi-Fi at the airport, and all hell had broken loose. I had a billion missed calls, my knees buckled, and I got dizzy. Herbert, with his wife and son, had been in an accident. I was devastated, and I was overcome with so many emotions I couldn't even understand. The brilliance of Ig and Herbert in building Access Bank was their intentionality in creating a workforce of culturally homogeneous workers who knew only one way of work and no other. They both understood the high need of human beings for meaningful work and a deep connection for brotherhood in the pursuit of a larger-than-life objectives. This was the reasoning behind the Sparta philosophy. We always watch the movie at the training school called 300. While I understand that this foundation was from their GTB days, they took the tempo up 1,000 notches and created a fine army of young, heavily motivated, entry-level recruits who were also overzealous workers, who would go beyond the ordinary to achieve the perceived impossible in the quest for excellence. You cannot give what you do not have. Herbert and I were crazy people. They built 1,000 more crazy people, and I was one of them. The dynamics between these two men was a very interesting one. We saw Ig as the most technically sound banker in Nigeria, while Herbert was this quiet but very powerful volcano waiting to erupt. It was very clear to all of us in our meeting rooms and passageways that Herbert was this big bull in pursuit of the biggest ambitions. Ig would be the forerunner, much like John the Baptist, preparing the foundations of institutional constraints, risk management, and technical depth, so that when the volcano finally erupts, the lava will flow where it is needed and not consume us all instead. Herbert was bullish and a brilliant executor who had the very rare capacity for seeing big pictures, thriving in ambiguity, and leading teams with passion and thoughtfulness. My group, Treasury, made 4 billion naira in the first weeks of 2010, and with a proud Treasury team presenting a much more ambitious expectation for the year, Herbert screamed, "I am about to have an orgasm." The whole room erupted in laughter. Then he asked, "Why can't we double the position size?" Immediately, I interjected, Herbert, it's enough. Oh. See this, my bow dead. I got this from the kind of thing we did in GTB. I beg, make the no double arm. Once we were having one of our numerous weekend meetings, Herbert looked around and said, "Guys, I need to get somewhere. Please wait for me. We'll continue this meeting after I get back." Will you believe if I tell you that this somewhere was Port Harcourt? Baba just remembered that I had to be at this big man's event to get on our side in resolving a critical issue. And so he hurried, as he always does, to the airport, to Port Harcourt, showed his face for like 5 minutes, and then returned immediately to us in the meeting room. We continued like it was no biggie. He was such an incredibly charismatic person. He was also a very serious and effective leader. During the days of the banking crisis, where we were dealing with such humongous bad debt, Herbert wanted his loans repaid, and he wanted them immediately. A group head, meaning well, advised a balance between recovery efforts and continuing customer relationship patronage. Herbert screamed, "That customer is my friend, but go and get my money back using whatever means necessary, even if you have to slap him. Once our monies are back in our account, we will go to him and apologize." And so it happened. We breathed down the customer's neck and our loans got repaid. But despite his bullish temperament, Herbert was super kind. A staff was once fired for cause. Then the staff approached Herbert and told him, with all seriousness, that his Access Bank job was a provision from God to feed his family, and that Herbert had taken away his sustenance. Herbert could not override HR policy, but then he immediately went out of his way to find the fellow a job with a sister company. The fellow resumed his new job the following week. There are so many stories. Like every other Access Bank person of that period, our entire identity revolved around the bank and its larger-than-life founders. And so when I started my entrepreneurial journey, it was almost a copy and paste of Access Bank. All our bank relationship was with Access Bank. A lot of the executives were ex-Access. We did everything like an Access Bank. And now we have also started our own training school program. We onboarded 30 graduate trainees just this January. In a sense, my hustle was to be seen like these mentors of mine, and I show that in everything that I do and say at work. Just last year, my very concerned brands and marketing people came to me and said, "Dio, you have to calm down with this your Access Bank thing. Any small thing, I said this, Herbert did that. We used to do X and Y at Access." Sir, that was 11 years ago. Times are different though, my very rude people. Upon landing Lagos on Tuesday, I went straight to see Ike with a friend. He said to me, "Shebi, God is still on the throne." Always the stoic one. Ike, what do we say to a man who has lost his shadow, but who does not have the luxury of mourning? Because there's so much to still do, and we have to be strong for the aged parents and the family and friends left behind. We say nothing, but we give him a hug, and we squeeze his hands, and we join his and Herbert's retinue of friends, his day ones, who have been beside him, blessing him with their presence. In typical men fashion, we make small talk and we act stoic in the face of death and loss. On Wednesday, I came to Access Bank to fellowship with the family. I consoled a few people. Roosevelt consoled me. I hugged Sumbo, Auntie Bolaji, Auntie Yabo, Taiwo, Eki, Omolade, and my treasury friends. There was this huge framed photo of Herbert on the 13th floor, and it finally hit me what I had been feeling since his passing that I couldn't put into words. I was furious and enraged at Herbert. I was furious. Why didn't he know he represented our dreams and should have been more careful? Why didn't he remember that himself and I and the institution that they had built were many people's origin story? Why did he risk getting into that forsaken chopper? I went to the condolence register and I wrote down the national honors that I, in my head, had awarded Herbert, not the CFR Nigeria gave him, but my own, the GCOF, Grand Commander of the Order of the Future. I went back to Ike's place the next day, saw the same old faces and some new ones sitting in solidarity. It was time for the afternoon prayers. There were 6 of us Muslims that wanted to pray. I made the call to prayer. Alhaji Aliko led the prayers, and then the rest of us lined up behind him. Alhaji had been a notable face beside Ike and the family since this entire episode started. I was sure we were all feeling the same thing while we were praying, helpless and totally at the mercy of the will and wishes of Almighty Allah, hoping that the little good we had done in our lives would be enough to buy His mercy, and worried that our humanly pursuit of greatness might have taken our minds off the most important truth of all. We are all nothing but pencils in the hands of the Creator. Herbert's death is a monumental loss, but his warriors will continue his legacy. As my people say, a great man doesn't go quietly, and so the entire world celebrated Herbert's passing, even if we did not know it at the time. The Access Bank Marathon, a monumental annual affair that brings the best of the world of marathons to Lagos, was held barely 2 hours after Herbert's passing. Thousands participated from all over the world, a fitting tribute to the warrior general, unbowed, unbent, and unbroken. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. That was truly wonderful. Thank you. A big thank you to all our speakers. I think we started the day with a moment of silence in honor of Dr. Herbert. I think that we should wrap up these tributes by standing on our feet, but this time, instead of silence, we're going to make a loud noise and we're going to celebrate his life and celebrate the grand commander of the future. Access warriors. Access warriors. Access warriors. Can we honor Herbert one more time with a round of applause? Keep that applause going. Another round. Yes, yes. Your flag, you can wave it. You have your flag, you can wave it. We will remain unbound, bent and broken. We will remain committed to the world's most respected African financial institution. God bless you, Herbert. Thank you. You may have your seats. You're going to wave that flag again at some point during this event. I will tell you when. But at this point, we have a song, You Raise Me Up. Everyone here has been touched by Herbert and raised by him in some way. And so we're going to have that. But just before that, forgive me, we actually have our final video to show you. Our final tribute video. Right after this, we're going to have the song.
Access Bank's journey from its inception as a public limited liability company to its remarkable transformation into a world-class financial institution is one of vision, strategic leadership, and a commitment to excellence.
All right, we'll have the third video for you. All right, so we're going to do the song and hopefully have the video later on. You know him. He is a member of the Access Choir, and he's joined by another member of the Access Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Gideon Haruna and Sandra Uche Olowu to do You Raise Me Up.
down, and oh, my soul so weary. When troubles come and my heart burden me,
then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
It's by our guest performer, Brian, to sing the song One Sweet Day.
Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say. Now it's too late to hold you, 'cause you've flown away, so far away. Never that I imagine. You're leaving without your smile. Feeling, knowing you hear me, it keeps me alive, alive. And I know you're shining down on me from heaven like so many friends. Yeah. And I know eventually together one sweet day. Yeah. Darling, I never showed you. I said you'll always be there. And I took your presence for granted, but I always cared, and I miss the love we share. And I know you're shining down on me from heaven like so many friends, many friends. Oh, and I know eventually be together one sweet day. Yeah. Although the sun will never shine the same, I'll always look to a brighter day. Lord, I know when I lay me down to sleep, you will always listen as I pray. And I know you're shining down on me from heaven like so many friends we've lost along the way. And I know eventually we'll be together one sweet day. And I know you're shining down on me from heaven like so many friends along the way. And I know eventually we'll be together. Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say. Rest in peace, Mr. Wigwe.
Thank you, Brian. And those of you who watch The Voice might have recognized Brian. He was on the last The Voice reality TV show. So we thank you. We thank you, Brian, for that wonderful rendition of One Sweet Day in honor of Herbert Wigwe. All right, we have come to the point where we're going to have our vote of thanks. And it gives me a great honor to welcome Dayo Alimi of Access PFA to deliver vote of thanks. Can we welcome Dayo? Right after this, we're going to show you a short video of Herbert singing a song, and we're going to sing that song together, so get ready.
Good evening, all. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as we honor our esteemed leader, Herbert Wigwe, we all are deeply moved by the outpouring of our love and respect in this room. The raw emotions of everyone gathered here today is emblematic of the great influence Herbert had on all our lives. That said, I extend heartfelt thanks to the leadership of team of Access Nation for giving us this platform to come together as people, to grieve and to encourage ourselves, to rise and take territories. A special thanks to Access Nation citizens who organized this event, whose dedication ensured every detail was attended to. I like my Ankara, and I can tell you for free, I am keeping this. To those who share their moving tributes and memories of Herbert, thank you for your vulnerability and openness. We citizens of the Access Nation still have the opportunity until March 9th, 2024, to send our tribute to the link Amechi Okobi had earlier provided. As a people, we must remain committed to carrying forward Herbert's vision with courage, conviction, and relentless dedication, knowing that the greatest tribute we can offer is to honor his memory in all that we do and ensure that our corporate philosophy is realized. Herbert, who is a co-founder of Access Nation's vision, will not die. We must place Africa on the global map. As we conclude this evening, I would like you to join me in paying a special tribute to our African hero. As we've all have come to appreciate Herbert's vision extended far beyond the borders of Africa, Access Nation's global expansion reflects its relentless commitment to connecting communities and fostering growth on global scale. It is fitting then that we, as citizens of Access Nation, pay homage to our visionary with a song that should hold a special place in our hearts. In most of our retreats, Herbert used to make us sing the song, "We Are the World." Tonight, please, in honor of his memory, let us sing together, a reminder of the unity and collective strength that defines us as an ecosystem. So please, raise the flags provided earlier, and let's jointly wave the flag in honor of Herbert's legacy, which showcases the bright future he envisioned for us and Africa at large. I would like all executives, non-executives, past and present, please join me on stage as we sing together. All executive and non-executive, past and present, please join me on stage as we sing the song together. Just before we sing the song, as we come on stage, a short video will be displayed on the screen showing Herbert singing the same song. And after the video, we all will sing the song together. Thank you all for being here. May Herbert's legacy inspire us to greatness.
So you can see Herbert was singing off key there, so it's free to sing off key. You don't have to be on key, okay? That's another way to honor his memory. All right, Access Choir, executives, our leaders, everyone.
A time when we decided call, when the world was come together as one. There are people dying. We must lend a helping hand to one, the greatest gift of all.
Someone, somewhere will soon make a change. We are all a part of God's great big family. so they know that someone cares, so their lives will be stronger and free. As God has shown us, by love, innocence, friends, and truth, we must learn to have winning. We are the world.
Access warriors! Access warriors! Access warriors! One more time! Access warriors! We started the event with prayer, and we're going to close with prayer. And in typical Access Nation fashion, we started with a Christian prayer, so we're going to close with a Muslim prayer. And I'm going to invite Azizat Okunlenu to lead us
in closing prayer. Can we welcome Azizat with a round of applause? That round of applause can be better for Azizat.
Good evening, everyone. Can we all please stand up for the closing prayer? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Amin. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Azizat. We've come to the end of the evening. Again, on behalf of Access Nation, we want to thank you for coming. This evening was put together for employees, by employees. We want to thank our leadership and friends, family members, and all those who came to honor Herbert with us today.
It's been a long day. About it when I see you again.
Our
We've come
tribute
a
videos will be available
long
on the
way
Access Bank and
from
Accelerate
where we
TV
began.
YouTube accounts.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When
It's been an honor to serve you. My name is Oluwaseun P. God bless you.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. Then I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh,